First things first, let us understand how this IT industry works, and particularly why companies are coming to colleges to hire fresh candidates. In 4-1 itself, they haven't completed their graduation yet, but still, companies are hiring. You have to understand this. No, there is a term called, like, business runs IT, not IT run business. It's always no business. Business is the main thing. Let's say, companies, like, I'm talking particularly about the services companies, not product based companies. This whole video is about the services companies only. So services companies, they know they're gonna get so and so projects in down the line, 1.5 year or 2 years. So they know that kind of projects are coming and they need manpower. So they come to colleges so that they can get the cream. Because if you come out of the college, and it is difficult for them to catch hold of cream layer. That's why they come to the campuses and look for the cream layer, and they'll hire the candidates. And here is the thing, as I said, business runs IT. That is the reason why sometimes they'll hire people like crazily, like 400, 500 people, and sometimes they'll hire only 30, 40, because it's all about the business. If the business is doing good, I mean, like, the market is good and they need more resources, they'll hire more candidates. And if they don't need much resources, they'll hire few people. So keep this in mind. uh, they hired you because they need you. It's not because you are super smart, and that's why they need you. It's not like that. Sometimes even an average student can get an opportunity. Sometimes a super intelligent guy will not get an opportunity because business runs IT. Keep this thing in mind. And coming to the interview, this video is about the interview thing, right? Keep this thing in mind as well. Sometimes interviewer, they'll ask just few questions and they'll hire. Sometimes they'll ask so many things, then, like, not just coding. I'm from ECA. In my interview, like, my coding was just they asked for 5 minutes, but, like, 1.5 hour they asked about my ECE subjects. So interview is tricky. It is completely based on the interviewer, how he wants to do it. But there is a no standard procedure. 80% of the interviews goes in certain way. So my video explains that structure, but there are chances interviewer can take it in his own style. Uh, okay, let's get into the video. Hello guys, in this video I would like to give interview tips to the candidates, whoever is going through the campus placement phase, particularly whoever is attending the interviews of the services companies like TCS, Cognizant, Wipro, Tech Mahindra, Infosys. I think they have some standard interview structure. I would like to give the overview on how the interview gonna be and what they are expecting from a fresh graduate. So make use of this video and grab the opportunity whatever you have got. Why I wanted to do this video is because I have seen few candidates make silly mistakes in the interview phase, and they lose the golden opportunity because maybe they didn't practice well, or maybe they don't have idea on the interview structure, or sometimes they get questions that they are not expected, and sometimes they answer in a way company is not expecting. So all because of all these reasons, some people lose the interview opportunity. So that's why I want to give some tips for the candidates, whoever is going through the interview phase. So before getting into the topic, one motivational statement that I received from my senior when I was attending my campus placement interviews, what he said was, if you get a job through campus placement, that's a good thing, because you got a job through less pain. Because getting a job by going out is a bit stressful. So don't get pumped because you got a job through campus placement. You should not take risk because you got a job. You have to learn more and try for better opportunities. The other thing is, if you did not get a job through campus placement, that's not the end of the world. There are so many opportunities outside. You can even try harder, prepare well. Maybe there are chances, there are plenty of chances you might even get a better opportunity than what you got in campus placement. Remember this thing. If you get a job through campus placement, don't get pumped. And if you do not get a job in campus placement, don't get dejected. There is a whole world out there, and you can do a lot better. Okay, now let's talk about the interview structure. So usually the services companies like TCS, Wipro, Tech Mahindra, Infosys, HCL, all these companies, yeah, uh, any company, the qualities that they look in candidates is they should have technical skills, minimum technical skills, and communication skills, and right attitude. You should be a job material. So they look for these qualities: easy having a technical knowledge, easy having good communication skills, and easy a job material. So that's why they have the technical round, managerial round, HR round. Some companies they'll have only technical and HR. And before the pandemic, usually all these interviews used to be face to face, but now because of this pandemic, I think most of the interviews are happening in virtual fashion. Usually in any interview, like technical interview or HR interview or managerial interview, the first question they'll ask is tell about yourself. Why they'll ask this question is not because they don't know about you. They know about you because you have sent your resume already. In the resume, you have all the details, name, your address, if there is an address, and where you have studied, your grades, your technical skills, your project details, your hobbies, etc. So all these things are there. But why they ask this question is, so usually when you are talking in front of new people very for the very first time, and that too it's for a job, you might get tensed if they ask the technical question right away. So first they want you to get comfortable with the ambience and get comfortable with the people in front of you. So that is why they ask tell about yourself. You have to really make use of the tell about yourself question, because if you do not prepare, you will mumble. You will say, I'm from this. You do all this stammering. But if you prepare, practice 4 or 5 times, how you want to tell about yourself. You prepare a structure, Google, or talk to your friends, or rehearse yourself in front of mirror. If you answer this question properly for 1.5 minute, or 30 seconds, whatever, but if you answer that confidently, you will get adjusted to that ambience, and you are ready for your next questions. So the main thing is you have to prepare, practice for tell about yourself. So the more confident you say, the next questions you take with that confidence. If you did not answer this properly, then you carry this thing in your mind for the entire interview process. Like, oh, I did not answer tell about myself properly. They might think I don't have much communication skills, and also you carry that trash. So prepare well, practice well for tell about yourself. That is a key question. Okay. After tell about yourself, in technical interview, you will be asked technical questions. If you are from a CSE background, you will be asked more programming questions like basic C, C++ to compiler design, SDLC, DB related questions, and some they'll ask you to write programs. And even for a non-IT background guy, definitely you will be asked the basic C questions and maybe basic C++ questions. And if the interviewer knows something about your branch, you might be asked those questions as well. Think in this. Prepare basic C questions mandatorily, and there are fundamental C questions like Fibonacci, Armstrong, palindrome, etc., etc., and prepare some sort logics if you can. So prepare these things, because definitely they'll ask you to write some programs for these questions. I'll do a separate series on technical questions, and I'll try to explain the concepts so that you can remember them easily. Wait for that series. Okay, coming to the interview again. So you answer basic theory questions, and they'll ask you to write programs. Here is the funda. What they are expecting from the candidate is that they are not expecting you to write executable logic. If it is Facebook or Amazon, yeah, maybe they'll expect in that level of expertise. But for services companies, they want you to try. If you get a challenge, are you trying or not? They don't like if you say, I haven't come across this question, I don't know this question, I don't know how to solve this question, I have never written a program. So don't use these negative statements. Uh, if you get a challenge, like even if they ask you to write a program, if you do not come across that thing before, ask them, okay, what is this mean, like, and ask for requirements, like, what is the input you want to give, and what is the output you want to be from this program. Okay, if because so you were asking this requirement, I think I'll approach in this way. I'll use in this place I'll use an array, or I'll use a for loop. Talk more, try to solve, because programming is a common sense. I think if you put some uh, common sense, and if you want to try to solve that problem, definitely you can do at least 50-60%. They'll really like if you do that. They'll see, okay, if he gets a challenge in future, he won't get away, or he will not say I won't do it. He'll try to solve this. So that kind of attitude you have to present in technical interview. So this is the main thing in technical interview. If you do not know the program, what they want you to write, so don't say I don't know. Try to solve that. Try to present yourself as a person who is a job material, who's trying to solve the problems. So this is the main thing. I see a lot of candidates make a mistake saying if they don't know, they'll say I don't know. They're trying to be honest, but the thing is not honesty. They are looking for someone who's trying to solve the problems. So the conclusion for technical interview is you have to prepare theoretical questions. You have to prepare for basic the problems which are part of your curriculum. They are like palindrome, Armstrong, Fibonacci. So yeah, there are things like that. You have to seriously prepare. Prepare those things. You should not take it easy. Because see, this is a good opportunity, as I'm saying. Coming to interview is a big thing. So by not focusing on these things properly, don't screw this opportunity. And coming to the problems that you have never come across, in that situation you should not say I don't know, I haven't come across. You have to say I'll try to solve what are the requirements, and be proactive. Use this thing as a communication skills presentation as well. Talk to them, ask requirements, and then try to solve. Show you are a job material, show you are a problem solving person. So in any interview, in technical interview or managerial or HR interview, they'll go through your resume. Let's say in technical interview you have mentioned something in your technical skills area. Whatever you have mentioned, there are like 99% chances they'll ask the things that you have mentioned in your resume. So whatever you have mentioned in your resume, let's say you mentioned machine learning and data science or artificial intelligence, whatever, you have to know minimum something, like you have to have minimum knowledge to speak about that. If you don't know anything and you mention that in resume, that means you are doing a wrong thing. Better you get some knowledge on the things that you mentioned in the resume, or don't mention at all. If you are not confident about that particular thing, remove it from your resume. If you have mentioned about a mini project or any other projects that you have done out of your interest, there are like not definitely they're gonna ask about that mini project or any other project you have done. So use this question as an opportunity to exhibit your communication skills, because you will definitely know what you have done as part of your mini project. So prepare that answer in a beautiful way. So once you get that question, you can confidently answer that. So even for this kind of question, you already know the answer. So practice and give the best and better answer, and use this as an opportunity to exhibit your communication skills. Coming to the next round, like HR or managerial, based on the company how they are organizing. So in this round of interview, maybe you might get a couple of technical questions, but apart from that, they'll ask you so many questions like are you flexible to work in like night shifts, or are you willing to relocate? What if you are supposed to go to Delhi? Will you be able to work? I mean, will you be able to go there? So these kind of things they'll ask. Particularly for women, they'll ask this question. They wanna see are you flexible or not. Okay, in coming to in real life, even if you're not really interested to go to Delhi, or maybe your family will not allow to go to Delhi. So these kind of things would be there, but don't say these answers like, sorry, I cannot go, I can work only in Hyderabad, or I have to stay close to home. I am from Hyderabad, so I'll be working only in Hyderabad. So don't say these kind of answers. You have to say, yes, I am willing to work in the night shifts. I am willing to go to any place wherever I get the assignment. I'm ready to do that job. So you have to say answers like this, okay? And majorly they'll ask you this, do you have any further studies plan? Even if you have any plan, you say no, I'm not having any a pursuing a further studies idea. And some people might say, I have an ambition of becoming an IAS, so I'll work, and in the nights I'll go to institute and I'll become an IAS. And now I'm interested in government jobs, so I'll parallelly prepare for government jobs. So these are, everybody does that. People do work and prepare for competitive examinations. People wants to prepare for MBA. All these things are there, but in interview you should not say these things. You have to say, my only idea is I want to excel in my career. I want to do best in my career. I want to learn more and more in technology, and I want to excel in the job. So this is what I am looking. This is what my vision is. So you have to present yourself in such a way. You should not say, I'll work for your company and I'll leave in near, like after 2 to 3 years, I'll leave your company. So you should not give that kind of impression. They'll ask you like where you want to see yourself after 5 years. You have to say, not exactly like this, but I think you got what I'm trying to say. Like, you have to say, I want to learn more and more, and I want to excel in my job career. I want to become a team leader. I want to become an architect or whatever. So you have to create an impression that, okay, this guy is gonna work for us for a long term. He's really willing to learn, and he's seeing a growth within our company. So you have to give that kind of impression. Google these kind of questions and see what is the ideal answer. But you should not be honest and say, I will prepare for IAS, I will prepare for government exams, I am going for further studies, I want to do masters, I will get 2 years of experience and then I'll do masters. So should not say these things. Okay, usually at your age, you are like still kids, and you will try to answer honest way, and you don't put that filter at all, and you will just say what you want. So you should not do that in interviews. Keep this in mind. That's why I'm stressing like 2 to 3 times, so that you will remember. You are not bluffing. You are doing. You don't know what happens in future, right? You might continue to do the job. Maybe you will really like the job. You will quit the idea of doing further studies. Maybe you will not. You will quit the idea of doing government job. You might really like this software job, and you will continue there. So you don't know that, right? What happens? So tell them, I really want to excel in the job. So for a non-IT background, like people from mechanical, civil, electrical, chemical, biotech, these folks will get a question, and there are more chances of getting this question. Like you are from non-IT background. Do you think you can do this job? Are you getting into right industry? What if you get a core job in future? Will you leave us, or what is your preference? So you might get these kind of tricky questions. First of all, keep this thing in your mind. If they don't want people from this background, they will not conduct test for you. They will not ask you to write aptitude and attend a technical or HR interview. Okay, keep this thing in your mind. They are looking for candidates who think they can do this software job. That is why you are given permission to write aptitude. Okay, just keep this in back of your mind and think, okay, we can do this job. So coming to that question of, are you from non-IT background? Do you think you can do IT job? Or so for these kind of questions, you have to say, I like coding, and I can really do best in the job. Once I get the opportunity, I can learn more and more, and I'll become more and more capable. And I'm a challenge accepting person. If I get any assignment, I'll give my best and I'll finish that task. I think I can do the software job. So you have to present yourself in such a way. And on top of this thing, I'll give you some more inputs. See, you can say in future, let's say after joining the company, and if your clients are from mechanical background, like motor companies or some construction companies, if they are the clients, and their project is more about these core terms, like mechanical terms or the civil terms. In those kind of projects, my presence would really be an asset to the company, because because of my BTech background, I can understand the requirements more clearly and properly. So you can say like this, and you can say I'm not just. It doesn't mean that I'm looking only for such kind of clients. I can do any project, whatever the task you give me, I'll be able to do that. But in such scenarios, my presence would be an asset to the company. So you can use your negative, whatever the negative thing that they post, you can use that as your weapon and say, my presence would be an asset to your company. If you can pull off, you can even say branch is not a barrier in IT industry. If you look at inspiring people like Sundar Pichai and Satya Nadella, they haven't done their BTech in computer science, but their passion in coding and their love for software put them in the top positions of the biggest corporations in the world. So you can even say like branch is not a barrier. There are already proven role models in any interview, like technical or HR interview. They'll definitely go through your resume, and there are more chances that they'll ask whatever you have mentioned in resume. The main part was like hobbies or whatever the extracurricular activities you would mention, like I like reading, I like listening to music, I like gardening, and I like reading books. So usually people mention these things, and if a person interviewer is like me, I'll definitely go through that section and ask, this particular question is again a chance for you to express your communication skills, because if you are really into them, like if you really read books, if somebody asks what kind of books you read, then you can say, I am into novels, I read these books, I read so and so. So you can mention, and if they again ask one more question, you can definitely explain the story or character. So at the same time, okay, don't mind, my baby is here, she might make some noises. Again, if you don't know what you have mentioned, like if you really are not into reading books, but if they ask like what kind of books you read, then you will go in like a mute mode, you don't talk, or you'll mumble. My sincere suggestion is, if you put what you are really into, listening to music or reading books or gardening. If you do not know whatever the things that you have mentioned, but try to grab some words regarding that topic, like read about what are the famous books and what is the outline, and gardening means like what kind of flowers you will grow, or like if it is music, what kind of music you listen to. So you should speak at least 4 or 5 words related to that, so they know you are a genuine person, you are not bluffing. If you do not talk anything about that, then they'll think, okay, they bluffed in resume. So don't get into that kind of situation. So go through your resume thoroughly, and uh, get knowledge on what are the things that you have mentioned. Okay, this would be my last point as part of this video. Whatever the company that you are attending, read about that company, know about their history. A little history would be fine, like when they established, who are the key people in the organization, and where is the headquarters, and where are what are all the countries, I mean like how many number of countries their presence is there. It's good to know about these things. There are chances they might ask, because people say this is my I like this company, I really want to work for this company. So you use these words sometimes, so you have to know a little about the company that you are attending.